Hi, welcome to We Need to Talk, the mini cast about strengthening relationships through embracing, not avoiding difficult conversations. I'm your host, Dr. Jill Thorngren, executive coach and licensed psychotherapist. And what I continue to learn is that we all need to talk more, not less, whether we're at home, the office, or in between. Or as I like to say, in the bedroom, in the boardroom, and beyond. Let's talk. Today I want to talk about difficult conversations and how the dreading is far worse than the doing. We spend, on average, anywhere from 6 months to 2 years putting off difficult conversations in our business lives. The stats in our personal lives are even higher. The average time couples wait to seek help for communicating their difficulties is 6 years. In both worlds, professional and personal, that's a lot of time to incubate miscommunication, misunderstanding, resentments, hostility, and lost productivity. You know, all the things a difficult conversation would actually address. And here's the thing. The average length of the awkwardness of a difficult conversation is somewhere between 20 seconds and 2 minutes. We spend hours, days, months, even years avoiding at most 120 seconds of awkwardness. That's not to say that conversations only last 2 minutes. It's that the initial sharing and receiving of the conversation takes just seconds or minutes. After that, it's on to digesting, clarifying, problem solving, and moving forward in some type of new direction. Because even one conversation, one instance of breaking out of the old pattern, one risk, will change the direction of stalemated situations. Relationships are systemic, and even small changes in a system has ripple effects. You can always change something if you're willing to go first. One of my favorite executive coaches, Peter Bregman, whom I had the opportunity to work with a few years ago, says this: if you're willing to feel everything, you can accomplish anything. Is it really that simple? If we're just willing to feel, we can accomplish anything? Simple, yes. Easy, no. True? I think it is. Because why do we spend so much time avoiding difficult conversations? What is it that makes them difficult in the first place? It's feelings. We're afraid of hurting someone else. We're worried about looking incompetent. We fear that we'll be rejected or misunderstood or even abandoned. We think we can't or don't want to go through those things, so we avoid the possibility of experiencing them. And when we avoid those conversations, what else do we miss? Of course, we miss out on the potential to solve problems, strengthen connections, and feel understood. And we also miss out on a lot of productivity. According to a study by Harvard Business Review, avoiding difficult conversations can result in decreased productivity, lower employee engagement, and high turnover rates. The study found that the cost of avoiding these difficult conversations can be as high as $7,500 per employee per year in lost productivity and decreased engagement. In the name of avoiding a couple minutes of potential awkwardness, we cheat ourselves out of better relationships and more engagement at home and at the office. And the paradox in all of this, we actually aren't avoiding anything because the emotions are there. They are bigger and badder in our dreading of them than in our actually facing and dealing with them. That pit in your stomach or tightness in your chest or the tenseness in your shoulders, they're the stress of knowing you need to do something and the dread that you're allowing to derail you. And that dread doesn't just stay neatly packaged in your body, wreaking havoc on your nervous system, which it does. It also comes out indirectly in our impatience and shortness with others who aren't even connected to the situation. It comes out in our mindless scrolling through social media and dreaming about changing jobs, careers, or partners. It comes out in our inability to be present and in the moment because we're living in the anxiety of the future and feeling and refeeling the emotions we're trying so hard to avoid. One of my clients describes this as suffering twice, once in the dreading and second in the discussing. He's right, but we often suffer far more than just twice. So it's starting to make sense. Dare to feel everything, and you can avoid a lot of procrastination and lost opportunity. Maybe you really can accomplish anything. But how do we get from the dreading to the doing? How do we make the emotions work for us instead of against us? We act on them. More on what ACT means in just a moment. It's part of a theory developed by Stephen Hayes in Nevada. But emotions are nothing more than messengers, and instead of shooting them, we have to invite them in and actually entertain them until we understand what they are saying. What we are dreading doing or feeling tells us something about what we value. Not wanting to upset an employee with a difficult conversation, that might mean that you value harmony. Afraid that confronting your partner will lead to a rupture in your relationship, maybe that means that you value connection. Are you worried about your supervisor's evaluation of you? Probably that means that you value confidence. The A in ACT stands for accepting your emotions, not avoiding them, not stuffing them down, not pretending they are something else, but accepting them and sitting with them. And sitting long enough with your emotions means that you can connect, the C in ACT, connect your emotions to what you value. And once you've made that connection, then you take action, effective action, based on the value, not just the emotion. Because when you understand the value connected to the emotion, you can move from dreading to doing. For example, if you value harmony, you'll create it through having, not avoiding, the difficult conversation. You'll focus on the ways that giving effective feedback will help, not harm your colleague. You'll have the conversation sooner rather than later, when it's cleaner and less polluted with the anxiety of putting it off. Remember, we don't have the option of not communicating. Everything we say and do, or don't say or don't do, says something. Our employees, our partners, our colleagues know when something is off. They have emotional messengers too. The conversations we don't have are usually far more difficult than the ones we do. Take the risk. Go first. Stop dreading and start doing. Act on your emotions. I think Peter Bregman is right. If we allow ourselves to feel everything, we really can accomplish almost anything. I still can't sing opera or anything else, and I would never ask you to endure the pain of listening to me try. Have a great day. Let's keep talking.